this is Tanya Rowling. Welcome to Tanya Tina's Maths. In this channel, you can find me teaching CBSE Class 10 Maths, NCERT Syllabus, and my sister Tina Lofus would be teaching CBSE Class 8 Maths, NCERT Syllabus. Alright, now let's get into the video. Today we are starting off with a new exercise, that is exercise 2.1. Okay, so in this exercise, we are going to be learning the first question, and the question is pretty easy, okay? And that too, this is a new chapter, that is polynomials. I hope you guys remember that. And then in this polynomials chapter, we should find the number of zeros, and we get a questions like find the number of zeros, like those kind of questions, okay? So those questions are really interesting. We can just solve it, okay? We should learn certain formulas which is really easy if you understand, okay? So now let's read the question. So the question is, the graphs of y is equal to p bracket x are given in figure 2.10 below for some polynomials p bracket x. Find the number of zeros of p bracket x in each case. Okay, so in 2.10, so in figure 2.10, they had given some graphs. I hope you guys found out those graphs. So the graphs, so this is a graph, okay? So this is the first subdivision. So this is the first subdivision. So in this we have a graph, okay? So you guys remember that y-axis and x-axis, it is pretty easy in bar graph. So here also we have that y-axis and x-axis, okay? So you guys can see we have y and we have x. So you guys can see x as well, and of course the middle one is 0, okay? So right middle one is 0. Okay, in this the rule is, so for example, we should find the number of zeros in x-axis. Why? Because here it is p bracket x, that means we are supposed to find the x-axis. So in x-axis, whatever line lies in this x-axis, we should count the number of zeros. It is easy, okay? So the first question, we don't have any number of zeros in x-axis. Why? Because in the y-axis we have one dot over here, that means one number of zeros, okay? So remember that. So in y-axis we have one line, that means here only one is there, that means we have one number of zeros. So in the first we shall write, but here we should find the x-axis. So we are not going to be writing for y-axis. First we shall write number of zeros is 0, okay? So we don't have any line or any we don't have any point or some line which is in the x-axis, so we don't have anything, so we wrote 0, okay? So now let's see the second subdivision. So as you guys can see, this is the second subdivision. In the second subdivision, you guys can check it out in the x-axis. So in this x-axis, we have one line which is intersecting at this line, that is x-axis line. Am I right? So here we get a line. So here you guys can see this line is touching this x-axis. So we get 1 0, okay? So for example, if you have another one line like this or some other lines, then we have 2 zeros or 3 zeros. Here we have one line right over here, and we have a point right over here. Remember the point. So here one point. So that means we have number of zeros is 1, okay? So number of is 1, okay? So we have one point right over here, and that too it's touching this x-axis line, so we wrote zeros is 1, okay? So you guys might ask, why didn't we write here and all? That's because this is in the y-axis line, so we should not write y-axis line, we are supposed to write the x-axis, okay? So that's why I wrote whatever line it's intersecting in x-axis, I wrote that one. So here it is intersecting, so I wrote the number of zeros is 1. Now let's see the third subdivision. So here in the third subdivision, you can just see that x-axis line. So this is the x-axis. Here you have this line. So here 1 we have, and here 2 we have, here 3 we have. So totally 3 zeros. Am I right? For example, you guys can see here 1, here 1, here 1. So totally we have 3 number of zeros. Am I right? So we are going to be writing number of zeros is 3. Okay. So we wrote 3. Why? Because in this x-axis we have this one 1, 2, 3, which is just crossing this x-axis or it's touching the x-axis. That's why we wrote it. The number of zeros is 3. Okay. Now let's do for fourth subdivision. So here in this fourth subdivision, you guys can see, so we have y-axis and x-axis. Am I right? So here you guys can see, so this line, it's like this. Okay, it's like U shape. Okay, so it's the line is like this. So if the line is like this, so here we have U shape. Am I right? So if the line is like this, then we should count the number of zeros. Why? Because we should count the number of zeros in the x-axis. So here we have 1, here also we have 1. So here we have 1. So you guys can here 1 and here 1. So totally we have 2. So we should write number of zeros is 2. Okay, totally we have 2 number of zeros. Am I right? So here we have 1, here we have 1. Okay, now let's do the fifth subdivision. So this is the fourth subdivision. Okay, so this is the fifth subdivision. Here in the x-axis you guys can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I right? So 4 lines are intersecting in x-axis. So whether if it is touching also, you can just say that belongs to x-axis. Okay, we should count that number of zeros too. So here we have 1 0, here also we have 1, here also we have 1, here also we have 1. So totally 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let us write number of zeros is 4. Okay, so totally we have 4 number of zeros. Now let's do the last subdivision, that is the sixth subdivision. Okay, so in the sixth subdivision it is somewhat complicated. Why? Because here the line is not intersecting, but it is just touching this x-axis. Am I right? So here we have 1, and I am sure that we have 1 right over here, but what about this one and this one? So don't be confused, that we should count that also. Why? Because it is touching that x-axis. Am I right? That means we should count that also. So here we have 1, here also we have 1, here also we have 1. So totally 1, 2, 3. So totally we got 3. So number of zeros is 3. Okay, so finally we solved it. So it was pretty easy because we know how to do bar graph. By using this we just solved it. Okay, so we found the number of zeros for all the subdivisions. I hope you guys had fun watching this video. Please like this video and help your friends by sharing this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any doubt, you can comment me in the comment section. Catch you in the next video. Take care.